is going on? This is a spoiler-free review for John Wick. I am Phil, and this is David. David, how the hell are you?
John the motherfucking man Wick.
We just watched John Wick Chapter Deuce, and really quick, David, if you can sum this up in one word, what it is?
Wiki.
Wiki. Wiki.
Wiki. It was a perfect. It was a proper sequel.
Yeah.
Right? You agree?
Dude, it was a solid sequel. I liked it. This movie was great. Like I said, this is spoiler free. There's no spoilers involved, so we're gonna do our best not to give away any, crazy spoiler heavy review. But then again, it's not really that spoiler-ish heavy. It's not really heavy on the story.
Yeah, you can talk about a lot without spoiling the film, as long as you don't do,
Yeah.
super details.
Yeah. I love this movie, hands down. Overall, this movie was great. I love that first one. The really quick thing about that first one is that what I loved about it was the surprise factor. It's a movie that just came out of nowhere. It looked like, I'm not going to lie, I thought this movie was like, you know what, this might just look like one of those dumb action movies. But it actually turned out to be a very solid, original, solid... I said solid twice. But
Keanu Reeves returned to the action to the action genre right here. This is perfect.
Yeah. And this sequel was just, if you really love that first John Wick, you're going to love this second one for sure.
I agree.
All right, so David, name some things that you really liked about this movie.
I love John Wick. I love the very ominous feel of the entire film. Yeah. I love the secrecy. I love the way that that John Wick is part of this secret society, but even as the viewer, we still don't understand what this secret society is. You just see little nods to certain things. Not only that, but then you find out that John Wick, like in the first one, it's just kind of like an implied thing that John Wick is this badass from some secret association. But then in this one, you see that there's hundreds, if not thousands, of these John Wick types.
And that's one thing that I really liked about this movie, is that they're building this world that they created in the first one. We didn't see very much about that hotel, the Continental. Mm-hmm. We didn't see a whole lot of that in the first one.
There's two of them now, remember?
Yeah, in the second one, in the sequel, they totally expanded on that universe that they're building, that John Wick universe, I guess. We don't know if there's going to be a third one. I really hope so.
There has to be.
There has to be a third one. There just has to be. But that's one thing I really liked about this movie. It's a simple story, but they just expanded more into this universe that we were introduced in John Wick 1. And that being said, me being a fan of 80s, 90s action movies, if this movie just took that action level to a whole new level, and it was great. It was not cheesy. It wasn't super you can tell that was so Hollywood special effect fake stuff. This is some pretty action, some solid action sequences, dude.
And Keanu Reeves did his own stunts for the most part.
Yes.
Not only that, but the action in this film was on par with transporter type shit. It was awesome. Not only that, but just the intricacies of how he fought people, how he killed people. It was extremely creative.
Yeah, no, I really thought the action sequences. This is an action dream, action film lover's wet dream.
Yes,
pretty much.
It was beautiful. It was it was cool because the second one explained a lot of small stories that you heard about John Wick in the first one, the fucking pencil. Yeah,
I thought that was that was very interesting. I thought that was so cool.
How long was this movie though? I think it was
I think it was
2
just
hours.
Under 2 hours.
No, it was over. Well,
over?
I think it was just 2 hours because it started at 4:20.
Okay.
And I went to take a dump.
Yeah, that's right.
At 6, and I was like, I gotta get back in there by 6:10.
Yeah, you didn't really miss a whole lot actually when you want to go take a dump. But how was the reunion of Morpheus and Neo?
And Neo, that was sick. Yep. And another thing that was cool is, like I told you, is from the first 30 minutes of the film, I got this real Wanted vibe, James McAvoy and Common, and then out of nowhere, fucking Common's in this movie, and he's dope. He's badass.
Dude, Common was really good in this. All right, here we go. There's one thing I said that I didn't really think was too hot on this movie. I didn't think this movie was great. I loved it. Don't get me wrong. It's good. It's gonna get a great score. But one thing, if I can say one thing that I just didn't like, was Ruby Rose.
Yeah, she was a little bland.
I thought Ruby Rose was I heard she kills it in Orange Is the New Black. But I've never seen Orange Is the New Black, but I heard she's phenomenal in that. But in this movie, I just felt like she was just doing it too hard. She was making those faces. I thought she was overselling it. That's about it, really.
I didn't really understand why they made her deaf.
Yeah. I
mean, it kind of did add like more. It added a more cool factor to John Wick because you know that he speaks fluent sign
languages. Yeah.
So like you get that out of it, and he goes to Rome. He goes to all these places. So you find out that he's actually he's like an international man of mystery.
Yeah,
like James Bond.
And really quick, if I can just say something, if you love that cinematography in that first John Wick movie, you're gonna fucking love the cinematography in this one.
Overboard on this one.
The color usage, the technical stuff is still there. Like if you're like a film buff, if you appreciate camera movement and lighting and cinematography in general, you're gonna really that does not go away in the second one. It stays there. Yeah. If anything, it just goes up a whole new level.
It almost had that like Blade Runner-ish color scheme to it.
Oh yeah,
like really really dark colors with bright neon.
Yeah, with bright neon. Colors. Yeah, it's a nice look. It's a beautiful look.
So if you're a fan of just action movies in general, from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s to now, there are so many things that I feel like John Wick's like producers and directors sat down, watched all these old 80s, 90s, and 2000s action flicks and said, we're going to take that. We're going to take this. We're going to take that. If you're a Bruce Lee fan, you're going to fucking love this shit. All right? We're going to take that. If you love The Transporter, boom, we're going to take that. Like, if you like The Raid, boom, we're going to take that. It was dope.
Yeah. Like I said, if you love 80s actions movies, 80s night, like the way he just described it, if you're even a fan of this first one, you're not going to be disappointed with John Wick Chapter 2. I'm not going to lie. Before watching John Wick Chapter 2, I was getting some Taken Part 2 vibes out of it. I was like, man, you know what? I really love that first Taken movie. I really did not like that second Taken movie, and I was just really praying that John Wick did not get that treatment, and I'm happy to report that that is not the case. John Wick Chapter 2 gets a great score from me. I'm going to go 4 skulls out of 5.
I'm going to do 4.
You're going to go 4?
I really like the fact that, like you said, they took all the things from action movies that worked and then added more of their own creativity. Like I said, dude, the coolest thing to me was the way he killed people.
Yeah.
Like, was so awesome.
Dude, and let's just talk, let's spend a little bit of a portion on this video about Keanu Reeves. Can we talk about Keanu Reeves just for one damn second?
He's 50 years old.
Yeah.
He's still a badass. He still does the stunts, if not even more than he did in The Matrix. Like, he's falling on his ass. He's rolling over. He's getting hit by cars.
He's doing that judo.
Yes, dude. He's like the Jackie Chan of America right now.
Dude, like right now, I think after seeing John Wick Chapter 2, I feel like he was born to play this role, just like he was born to play Neo.
Yes.
I think Neo and John Wick are my favorite. Maybe Johnny Utah somewhere in there.
Johnny Utah.
Those are probably like my favorite Keanu Reeves characters of all time. Dude, shout out to Keanu Reeves. You're a national treasure, sir.
He's just very good at playing that like mellow, but at the same time almost like passive aggressive type person that you don't know if he's gonna snap on your ass or if he's just gonna be like super cool. Like in Scanner Darkly, he was super mellow. Like, you know.
And I just can't see anybody else play John Wick besides Keanu Reeves. I just can't see it now.
Yeah.
Just how I see that nobody else can play Neo except for Keanu Reeves.
Wasn't Will Smith supposed to play Neo?
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's horrible. So also in this film, he at the end of the last film, he gets a new dog. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Beautiful fucking pit bull.
Yeah.
And now he has it in this film, and it's probably the most obedient dog I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like it walks around with him. It goes into hotels with him, and he goes into a hotel. He tells it to sit. He goes and talks to this guy for like what seems like 30, 40 minutes. Comes back, the dog's in the exact same spot.
Yeah.
Waiting for him.
Beautiful dog.
Like that's awesome.
Yeah. New dog, new puppy face, like just a really cool dog. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about the John Wick movies, man. You're going to see some really cool dogs.
And there were some beautiful death scenes also.
Oh,
one in particular.
Yeah. Dude, like I said, the action sequences, I think they just took it to a whole new level. I think the brutality in the action sequence, the action sequence got raised up to a whole new level as well. I mean, if you're a fan of that movie, blood splatters on the wall,
but in an elegant way, not like just like Saw or
it's not like some gore, like
not hostile and shit.
Yeah. That some gore porn. It's like very elegant gore porn. If you could,
very meticulous and calculated.
Yeah.
Another thing that was really cool about all the characters is there's all this chaos and destruction and murder and craziness going on, but at the same time, everything they're doing is rooted in tradition, honor, code of this secret society. So like, if they're all fighting each other and they're shooting each other, and then they just end up in the Continental, like everything just stops.
Everything's cool.
They have a drink together. They talk.
Yeah.
And they're
that's
talking
another
about
thing
how
too.
they're gonna kill each other, but they can't because they're in the.
Yeah,
that's fucking cool.
And
shit.
what's really cool about this movie, it's not just Keanu Reeves that's carrying this movie as far as acting performances go. He's backed up by Ian McShane, who plays like the Continental the manager. He plays the manager, and you also got my boy Lawrence Fishburne, and he's also got Common. There you go. I was like, wait, am I forgetting somebody? Yeah, of course. Really How could I forget Common? Common. This is the most I've ever seen. The physical part of Common. Yeah. I've never seen Common get down like that before. Like that's shout out to Common.
Yeah, it was cool to me how even though they were all like killing each other, like they respected each other.
Exactly.
Like you knew that they had to do this or they had to do that. It's their job. It's part of their they bought into this secret society and they agreed to all these rules. So it's like...
It's that universe building that I was talking about earlier. They're building this universe, they're expanding these characters, and there's this code of ethics within this universe, within this organization that all these assassins are involved in.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. If you liked John Wick 1, John Wick 1 is like amazing in this small little box. Yeah. And then what John Wick 2 did was rip that box open and scatter.
Yeah.
And it's fucking amazing. And it sets up for an amazing part 3.
Yeah. I hope there's a trilogy. You know what? There's no really comparing John Wick 1 or 2. Like, I'll say this. Like, if people are going to ask me, so which one was better, John Wick 1 or John Wick 2? This was a solid sequel. I'd highly recommend it. Watch it. I loved it just as much as I loved John Wick 1. The thing that I think what sells me on John Wick 1 was his emotional motivation to get back into the assassination game. Was, as we saw in the first one, his wife died from cancer and they just killed his dog, the last connection that he had to his wife. Of course, there is some heavy motivation and took his car. And of course, there's some hardcore motivation for John Wick to enter back into the dark world that he dwells in within this organization. And this one, in John Wick 2, I didn't really get that emotion. Like, I understood why he's doing the things that he's doing in John Wick 2. No spoilers. But that emotion, I guess he's not emotionally driven because the motivation is like, all right, cool. My wife's dead. I got a new dog. Like, I've moved on with my life. But there's some new conflict there. I felt like the conflict that sets up John Wick 1 was a little greater than the conflict that sets up John Wick 2, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, but I think... like you said, like without comparing them, like saying which one's better.
Yeah.
This is the reason why it's called Chapter 2. It's not necessarily like a sequel. It's like one big book.
Yeah.
And this is just the next part. So like the first part, he was extremely emotional, but now it's like the next part of what he's doing. And you understand why he's doing it.
Yeah.
But it's cool because it's like you can say like, I don't like 1 or 2 better. Yeah. I like John Wick.
Yeah.
It's like saying I love Star Wars. Exactly. Like The Empire Strikes Back is probably one of the best Star Wars in the entire saga. But, I mean, maybe arguably. Yeah. But you like Star Wars, even though the prequels were trash and George Lucas ruins all of his movies. But it's the same thing. Like, you like John Wick as a story, and they're doing it in a way that you don't have to see it as part 1, part 2. It's John Wick, and it's great altogether.
True. So that's the thing. It just felt like John Wick Chapter 2 just felt like a continuation of John Wick 1. So like it's definitely must go see. So that is our review on John Wick Chapter 2. We would like to know, what did you guys think? Have you guys seen it this weekend? If you have not seen it this weekend, go see it. If you don't have time to go see it on Valentine's Day. Take your girl, take your man, take your dog.
Take your man.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you're a woman. You're maybe you're a woman who actually appreciates John Wick, and your man has never seen John Wick. If your man has not seen John Wick, take him to the fucking movie. And
if he doesn't like John Wick, you have a girlfriend.
Yeah. If he's gonna see 50 Shades Darker and not John Wick, you don't have a boyfriend. You have a girlfriend.
But Christian Grey's cute.
Anyways, that is our review for John Wick Chapter 2. Let us know what you guys thought about the movie in the comment section below. This is David, I'm Phil, and this is Axial Skeleton. We'll see you next time. Until then, stay focused, stay sharp, and Axial on.